shall I say, hey, nurses, you graduated, congratulations. Like, this is huge, this is phenomenal. Like, you made it through the program. Like, I bet you didn't think you could, but you did it. And yeah, so what'd you do? Tell me, what did you do to celebrate? Did you have a party? Did you go to dinner? Did you get some money? What did you do? I know for me, when I graduated, I didn't want anything big because I was literally thinking about taking the NCLEX. So I was like, oh, graduation, yeah, I graduated, but it's not the real deal because I don't have my boards yet. So I didn't want anything big. I just had my parents, my parents came down to my graduation, and my family came down. My husband, who was my fiance at that time, we all celebrated, and we had dinner at some Thai restaurant, which was bomb. But that's what I did. And then I did take a trip. I took a trip to Miami just to get a breather. Me and my friend from nursing school, we took a trip to Miami, and it was lit. Like, it was relaxing, but at the same time, we did get to explore, try some Cuban food. This Jamaican spot was bomb. Like, I had so much fun. So in the comments, let me know what you did to celebrate. I just want to say, first of all, thank you to those who have been looking at my videos, who have subscribed, liked, shared, for all your support. I just want to say thank you. And also, if you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button. Also, make sure you are getting the notifications so that when I upload any other videos that you will be notified. Okay, so fam, how are y'all doing? You guys made it through this process. You made it through nursing school. Now, it was a lot. I'm not gonna lie. We've all been there. We know how nursing school is. It's very stressful. Sometimes your teachers and the program can be unorganized. Some people are like competing. There's like competitions within nursing school. You really find who your true friends are. You really find out what you want to do. You may have went into the program saying, oh, I want to do peds, but then you leave the program saying, I want to do ICU. Or you go in saying, oh, I want to do OB, and then you leave and saying, hey, maybe I want to do psych. So congratulations. I hope you found what you want to do and have found yourself in this program, and you're going to learn so much more about yourself as the time goes on. You're going to learn so much more about nursing, what you want to do, what you want to continue to pursue, whether you want to pursue a higher degree, whether you want to teach, whatever you want to do, you will get there. And it is quite a journey, but a wonderful, wonderful journey. And I am so excited that you made it this far, and you are going to go far. And just say one thing. Repeat after me. Repeat after me. I will. Okay, I'm pointing to you, yes. But point to yourself and say, I will pass my boards on the first try. Make sure you continuously say that, even every time you wake up, every moment you look in the mirror and you say it, and you say, I will pass my boards on the first try. And I guarantee you that's exactly what you will do. Today, what I'm going to be talking about is tips on how to study for the NCLEX. Yes, you passed nursing school, and now you got to get through that hump. You probably already got your first job lined up straight out of nursing school, but that one thing that you need to make sure before you step on that floor and start practicing is you need to pass the NCLEX. Yes, you may have passed the program, but you got to now officially get that RN behind your name, that RN badge, represent and say, yes, this is me. Put some respect on my name and my badge. Okay, let's get right into it. So, number one, breathe. Breathe, breathe, and breathe, okay? You have made it. You made it. You here. You passed. You passed your finals. You passed the exit exam. You got the diploma now. You walked across the stage, or if you're now in the quarantine times, no matter what, even if you didn't cross the stage officially, like walked across the stage, but you still got that degree, all right? So breathe. You can do this. Have that confidence to know that you can do this, okay? You made it through the application process of nursing school, right? You got accepted into the program. Then you passed all your exams midterms, finals, everything, and you passed all the competencies. We all know how rough it was, like being so scared and just going through like the whole competency process and hoping that you pass that. So you've been through that, and now you're here. You've gone this far. So breathe and know that you will get through this. You just have to believe and have the confidence that you are going to get through this, okay? That's number one. Number two, know what's going to be on the exam. Before studying, you need to know, before you study any test, you need to know exactly what's going to be on the exam, what to expect, how long the exam is going to be, things like that. So the minimum number of questions that will be asked on the exam is 75 questions, and the max number of questions that you will get is 265. How they do it is they test you on a minimal scale of like your competency. If you are competent to be a nurse, then, or if you lack the competence to be a nurse. You get that? I know that didn't sound right, so let me say it again. So they test you based on your competency of being a nurse. So they'll continue to ask you questions, continue to throw questions out there until they know, okay, yes, you are competent to be a nurse, or no, you are not competent to be a nurse. The minimum, like I said, is 75, and the max is 265. The exam is 6 hours, so you have 6 hours to complete the exam. So don't worry, it's not based on, oh, you have to answer question one, each question like within a minute. It's not like that, so you don't have to worry about that. You have a total of 6 hours to answer, to complete the exam. They will have some experimental questions in the exam that you'll be taking, and it's based, they use those questions to see if those questions are going to be used in the future. Okay, so definitely know the exam. Okay. Next thing, and number 3 is plan your, have a plan of study. So for me, how I did it was I literally studied like rigorously for this exam. So I did basically made it like my job, like 9 to 5, literally. Like I went to my place of study, which was somewhere on the campus, and I had a particular room that I would go, and I'll make sure I'll get there at the same time every day, because some people might be in the room, but that was my space, right? And from like 9 until noon, I would do either questions. I would do like an actual test, like I'll sit and do a test. So I'll do questions, and then after that I would take an hour break, eat, maybe watch a show and eat, talk on the phone, go on social media, interact with people. And then after my hour break is done, then I'll go back, remediate those questions, and then after that I would study content, and then I'll go home and then have the rest of the day, relax and do whatever. So make sure you have a routine. Wake up in the morning, however, do your workout, do your meditation, your devotional meditation, eat your breakfast, pack your things, pack your bag. Make sure you stay organized. Pack your bag, pack your things, and get ready to go to work, because basically it's going to be your job until you take the exam and pass it. So have a routine down, okay, and a schedule. Write your schedule down, plan everything, organize how you're going to do it so that you're not all over the place and you're just jumping from one thing to the next. Have a plan. Number 4, questions. I know you hear it all the time. I know you heard it through nursing school. Questions, 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 questions. The only reason why we keep pushing to do questions is because some of the questions that you do, you may see it again on the exam, which I know there were some questions that I did that I saw again when I took the NCLEX, or you see something familiar, like it's getting you familiar on how the questions are asked, how you should think, what things that you should be thinking about, and just basically making yourself familiar with these questions that's going to be on the exam. So do questions and then remediate. See where you went wrong if you got the question wrong, and see where you were right too. Because sometimes you may guess the answer to the question, and then you're like, oh, I got it right. How did I get it right? So always find out where your thought process and what you were thinking, so that those things that you did to get the answer, to answer the question right, you can continue down that path and continue doing that. And if you notice something that's wrong, try to figure out where it's wrong and then remediate it, change it, so that you can get the question right. Because your goal is to answer as many questions as you can, get as many questions as you can right, so that you can pass the exam. Okay, so number 5 is don't use more sources than you need. Like, stick to a source or resources that you're using to study, and then continuously use that. Or if you're going to use multiple, just don't use like 5 or 7 sources to study with. Have like your main one, your main resource that you use to study and do questions, and then after that, keep using it and reusing it and reusing it. So for example, for me, my number 1 source that I used for studying was UWorld. I did UWorld for my questions. I also used Hurray for content. My school, they offered Kaplan, but Kaplan, it just wasn't for me. I didn't get used to using Kaplan and their method until like closer towards the end of the studying for my exam. So I just didn't understand Kaplan. Not saying that Kaplan's bad. People use different things, use different programs, that's fine. But for me, Kaplan didn't really work for me. And UWorld is phenomenal. I would definitely suggest it. It's literally the questions that UWorld asks. I did see some of them on the NCLEX when I took the exam. So I would definitely recommend UWorld. But just to sum it up, really only use like 2 to 3 resources or programs to study, and then stick to it, because they give you a bunch of material, so you have to like break it down, and you don't want to use too much and then get confused and then don't know how to organize yourself when studying. So that's that. So number 6, environment is key. Like, where you're studying is key. You do not want to get distracted. You want to make sure that you're focused and in the zone when you're studying. You know, have a quiet environment. Go to the library, go to like a study area, anywhere that will bring you peace where you're studying. Go to that place. You know, you don't want to be distracted by family. You don't want to be distracted by your boyfriend, girlfriend, significant other. You just don't want to be distracted by anything. You know, go to a place that's, you know, quiet. It's a close area where you can like keep your stuff, organize your placement of where everything is. Make sure you have Wi-Fi, because you're definitely going to need that. And yeah, just find a great environment for you, not for where everybody else is, but where you know that you can study and you will get the material to sink in. Okay, number 7, do not have multiple study buddies. All right, like, I know during nursing school you may have like a group study session, but they're not going to be with you when you're taking the NCLEX. Remember that and know that. So do not have multiple study buddies. You can have one person that you will study with. I would suggest no more than 2 people, the 3 of you in a group, where you can like bounce ideas off and everything, or study together so you can absorb the knowledge together. But once again, do not have a whole group. It gets distracting. You guys start to go off course of what you're studying. You waste time. Just have 2 to 3 people to study with. And how me and my friends did it, so we would come in, right? We would, you know, check in on each other, see how we're doing, emotional, mentally, everything. And then we'd be like, okay, from 9 to 12, we're going to do 75 questions or 175 questions. And then we'll have our break, and then we'll come back in together. We'll remediate, and then we'll watch a video based on content. So that's how you can do it. Like, and then when you're having the content, when you're watching the videos with the content, you know, break it down, go be like, oh, did you understand that topic? Did you understand this? I didn't understand this on cardiovascular system. I didn't understand this. Can we discuss it? Can we break it down? Can we answer some questions together on the cardiovascular system or endocrine system or women's health or anything? Like, when it comes to that, make sure you are studying with people who are serious, because you don't want to get distracted. This exam is, to some people, it's like life, literally. Like, this is your career on the line, you know. Not saying that you can't you know, you can't study with your friends, like, that's okay, you know, but this is not the time to be, you know, not losing focus. Like, you need to focus on the exam and, you know, and take it seriously. Once you pass the exam, you guys can celebrate, you guys can go on a trip, you guys can do whatever, but just one thing I will definitely highly suggest is do not study with more than 2 people. Okay? All right, so that's it. I could provide you with more, but I don't want this video to drag on. If you have any questions, you know, you can always comment below and I will respond. Also, follow me on social media, follow me on Instagram, and yeah, and I just want to say again, thank you for watching this video, and thank you for making it to the end of the video. Again, don't forget to subscribe, like, make sure you're getting the notifications for the next video, and I will see you guys next time, okay? Have a wonderful day, and once again, congratulations, you have made it this far, and you are going to go far. Have a blessed day. Bye, fam.